Join me. Together we can rule the galaxy far from sun.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Hello there, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses. This is Todd Hoffman and Trent Hoffman, and you're listening to Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 75. Today we're going to be talking about, what are we talking about? Season 2, Star Wars Resistance. We are going to be talking about the episode, The Voxx Vortex 5000. But before we get into that, we're just going to catch up on a little bit of week. So New York Comic Con was last week, and it's good seeing a con back, especially at the size of New York Comic Con. So they had some exclusives. So of course I had to go for it. They had this really cool Boba Fett, like unmasked Boba Fett from The Mandalorian. And I was trying to get it. They had a Venom too. I think they were both like Walmart exclusives or whatever, but Funko was doing this kind of like virtual queue thing. I'm like, sure, I'll give it a whirl. So jumped on right away once it went online, and it was like 5 minutes. And so it was like 5 minutes of like 20 minutes. And I was like, well, I'm all right here. Might as well just stick around at this point. And I was able to get in. But when I got in, pretty much everything was sold out. So I was like, well, I have to get something, right? So I ended up getting like a Rocket the Raccoon, like in a, the soda can type things. They have the little soda can things. So it's like, all right, I'll get that. And then they had like this Chicken McNugget pumpkin thing, and I was like, all right, I'll get that. So it wasn't a total loss, but I was really looking forward. They had like I said, a Venom and like an unmasked Boba Fett from Mandalorian. I was like, well, I would like that, and they didn't have it. But there you go. Finished the Lego build. So I built. It's called Imperial Armored Marauder, and it's pretty cool. It's like it's got Grief and artillery stormtrooper, and then 2 stormtroopers, and it's kind of like the transport, but I would say it's also like the one that they hijacked in Mandalorian. Not quite the same vehicle, but close enough. But it's pretty cool. It's got a turrets and all this kind of fun stuff. And so, yeah, I might do I was thinking about doing a little stop motion video for that thing. But it was pretty cool. So I got that, finished that up. That was some birthday cash. So thanks, Kim, for that. That was nice. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, Visions. Okay, Star Wars Visions Ronin came out, and it is really good. So I do Audible stuff, so I like the Audible version, and so I took that. It came out today. Started listening to it. Ooh, it's good. I really enjoy it. I think this is gonna be super fun. It's super cool to explore this world. But yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody, but it is solid so far. I've only got a couple, an hour or two in today. But yeah, I'm digging it. So definitely check that out if you haven't. And then speak about Grief Karga. Carla Weathers just tweeted, I'm starting Mando Season 3 tomorrow. What? Oh my gosh. So Mandalorian, at least for him, starts tomorrow. I don't know if they probably already been in some pre-production stuff, but it sounds like, hey, maybe the main actors are coming to the set tomorrow. That is super exciting. So, but actually, a month from now, I believe, November 12th or whatever is Disney Plus Day. We're gonna get a trailer for Boba Fett. There's just it's close enough where we need a trailer to get everybody psyched and stoked to get us through all the way to the end of the year for the Book of Boba Fett. But yeah, we gotta get a trailer there. So but yeah, that is super, super exciting that Mando Season 3 is starting to film. That's super cool. All right, let's jump into our main topic here. We have the Voxx Vortex 5000. And so this, again, classes, it's a regular theme. They're struggling for some credits, trying to figure out this thing, but Hype Phazon comes to the rescue, and he's like, hey, the official description is this. Let's start with that. The class of visits a casino for some racing that will hopefully bring a big payday to the platform, but the ownership may not be as easy to defeat. Well, again, if it was an easy defeat, it would be a very short story. But we get Hype Phazon has a little plan. The aces are getting restless. They haven't had any races because they got to keep a low profile, and really they're just doing kind of like guard duty or whatever to the classes, and so they want to, let's get to just some racing. So Hype's like, hey, we're not too far from his friend Frankie, the Hut here. So it's Voxx Cluster, I believe, is actually the place where they're at. So Frankie is like, hey, he's like, hey, I got this guy, Frankie, he's a cool guy. We're going to go there. All right. So they get Doza, like, okay, let's go. Let's take a shuttle out there. So they punch the course to Voxx Cluster, and it's like a casino surrounded by asteroids, and they do a lot of racing there. Now, again, we haven't seen, especially, again, in this season, there hasn't been any circuit racing. I mean, that was it's interesting. That's kind of like how we got introduced to Resistance. Like, hey, they're just these aces and they're racing and that kind of thing. But that really hasn't been the focus with Season 2. It's been obviously more because of what the Force Order did with the Resistance, and they're kind of on the run. And so it's pretty interesting that we really haven't had any of that. And so they go to the asteroid field. They're going to do some races. Hype's like, hey, we could trust this guy. And Frankie is a Hut. So he has a service droid and is like, yeah, let's go. Let's hang out. Let's do this thing. And so as they enter the casino, Hype was kind of, no pun intended, hyping it up like, this casino's lit. There's so many people, and this is where kind of Hype got his start. As they enter in, there's literally like one patron and a bunch of like quacky and monkey lizards just hanging out. And so like, where's all the crowd? So we get a little name drop. He's like, well, it's been quiet since, like essentially because of the war and the Resistance. And then he does a name drop of Cantobite. So Cantobite's doing fine, but Frankie, he is not doing fine. Unfortunately, business is slow. So still wants to wager. And so Hype is like, hey, a single race, let's do this. We'll get some credits. If he loses, he has to, stay around, and he gets all of Hype's winnings. Seems pretty straightforward. When Tora and Kaz kind of come up to the scene, they see three kind of fighters fighting or racing, actually, and one crashes right into an asteroid. So we know it needs business. So Hype and this unnamed pilot begin a race. As Hype is about ready to cross the finish line, they are droids. And now, here we go. We got a little episode 1 reference to our droid fighters here, which I thought was interesting. It's just a more fancier droid. But yeah, we see it tilt its head. The cockpit tilts its head. It's got the wings turned into kind of legs. And so it's a very Phantom Menace feel, which was kind of cool seeing that. And so Hype loses. It's a trap. Yes, it's a trap, guys. So imagine this. Frankie does not play fair. So Doza's mad. They got to figure out a way to do this. Our good friend Niku understands he's playing a game, but he realizes that these games have been altered, so the house always wins. But Kaz and Tora have an idea and say, hey, could we, since the programming is kind of the same, can we hack into this and try to figure out how to beat these droid racers? So the aces, they kind of agreed to do another kind of stake as far as like, okay, we're going to try to do everything. And so they bet the house. They say, okay, all my aces, and, we'll put in the classes and we'll make this happen. Well, once you come to find out, all the aces have a little bit of trouble trying to fin these races, even though they have Niku at his side and he's calling things out. There's turrets and bombs, and Frankie is he's kind of cheating, as a Hutt would. And so we have this very interesting thing as far as just like them always trying to one up the Hutt, but this is a Hutt. It's his casino. It's all rigged. And the team tries to leave, and we got the muscles, the Quacky muscle lizards, the the WWE kind of wrestler monkey lizards here, and so they block the door and they got to stay, and so they have to try to figure out what's going to happen or what can they do, and it's not looking good. So this is Tora basically says, hey, we can figure this out. And she says, let's wager the classes as collateral, which is kind of a huge deal. Doze is like, yeah, I don't know if that's such a good idea, but they try to figure this all out. So then all the aces lose. Then it's up to Tora and Kaz, and so Tora and Kaz say, hey, we gotta try to figure this out, and that's what they do. They have this huge race. Kaz then has he's going one-on-one with this robot racer, and of course Frankie is throwing everything at him, and leave it up to Niku to help him out at the end. There's actually even turrets on the ring, and he was able to disable them, and he pulled the maneuver that we saw earlier with Hype, where he got underneath them and the droid was going to grab him, but based on Niku's instructions and helping him out, he didn't quite do it, and then punched it and got through the ring, and everybody wins, and Kaz wins, and the classes wins. And so, of course, Frankie is saying that you cheated and all that fun stuff, but it was a clean race, and Kaz cut the corner a little bit and didn't go all the way, and that's where he said he cheated the race. But even Hype's like, hey, you said you got to expect the unexpected. So now the Quacky Muscle WWE lizards leave. They unblock the door. They got a little credit. They got a little swagger. And the classes is once again happy to be with their aces. And we got some credits. And so, yeah, it was... this one was pretty good. I mean, I think, like I said, Relic Raiders, the one where they're invading the Sith temple, I really thought that was way too light. And then I really liked the last one with Rendezvous Point. I thought it would really brought some substance. This one's a little bit on the lighter side as far as a plot, but again, if I'm looking at the demographic and what they're trying to do, I think they're definitely kid friendly. And we finally got back to races, which was cool. I like that pretty much this whole episode is races, and it looks great. It's beautiful looking. It's a very simple concept of just like Frankie throwing out every little step in the way to cheat the classes and the aces. But I really did. I like this one better, just because I feel like it's meant to be light, where Relic Raiders, you have this ability, you have this opportunity to kind of go deep with Sith lore, and they just kind of left it at surface level, So, and again, it's not the end of the world. It's still Star Wars, and it's great. Yeah, they got some credits, and they're on their way, and and then we have two little jokes at the end where Nico's like, my new friends are really attached to me, and so the quacky monkey lizards are like all over them, and then the one patron wins or something, and she laughs, she's like, because she won, and so that is great for the patron, and probably bad for Frankie again. So there you have it. The Voxx Vortex 5000. Jeez, say that 3 times fast. Yeah, it was solid. So there you have it. That's another episode of Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. You can find us on the socials, all right? So we got Big T, Little T podcast on Instagram. We have BLILT podcast on Twitter, and then twitch.tv/Big T Little T. We're on there as well. Hey, we got stickers. If you want to drop us a question, or if you comment, rate us on Apple Podcasts there, and say, hey, here's your 5-star rating. You can do that by emailing us at bigtlittlepodcast@gmail.com. If you do that, if you rate us on iTunes and give us a 5-star and show that, we will read that on an upcoming episode. And then, hey, if you got a Star Wars question or really digging, it might be a Resistance rewatch. This is our first watch through. But yeah, if you got some questions about Star Wars Resistance or any Star Wars questions, are you reading Ronin, the Star Wars Visions book? Let me know. Or you're building some Legos, let me know. We would love to hear from you guys. Trent and I actually just love seeing what everybody else is doing, and love that interaction. So again, we're going to continue through Star Wars Resistance 2. We're hoping to get through this before the Book of Boba Fett. That's coming up at the end of the year. But yeah, it's super, super exciting. And obviously it's always good when there's more Star Wars down the road. I mean, let's just put it this way. 2022 is going to be off the hook. It's going to be awesome. We're going to get Book of Boba. We're going to get Andor. We're going to get Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I'm really wondering if they're filming now, and they're probably done by the holidays, they probably won't take too terribly long to shoot. But does that mean that we won't get Mandalorian till the end of next year? It's very possible. So, yeah, but that's okay. That could be literally 4 Star Wars shows in 1 year. That would be awesome. So anyways, there you have it. Truly wonderful the mind of the child is. And yes, we're trying to work out a new schedule and trying to get Trent back on. So we will hopefully have that happen very soon. But he definitely misses all you guys. All right, here we go. May the Force be with you always. Bye. Peace. We'll see you later on the Flippy Flip. Bye.
Hype phase on. The greatest racer to come out of the Voxx cluster. I lost a real money maker when you quit Hype.
I bet you never found another pilot better than me, huh, Frankie?
You can say that. Get over here, pal. Come here.
What a beautiful reunion.
Okay, enough of that. Hands off the goods.
Whoa, now. I know what you're thinking, but don't let my good looks intimidate you. Besides, I'm nothing like the other Hutts you may have heard of, but I'm exactly like those you've never heard of. I am Frankie the Blue, proprietor, host, and promoter of Frankie's Hotel and Casino.
Please follow us inside.
You're about to see the most happening casino around. Last time I was here, there were so many people we almost compromised the gravity.